Last week when I wasn't here, teacher Coco and teacher Sam took classes and they did some ratio, rates, and proportion with you guys. But I know what it's like at the end of the term when you're stressed and all the rest of it. Some of it probably went through, some of it hit a blank. So we're going to do a little bit more ratio, rates, and proportion, a little bit more practice. We're going to make sure that we've gone through it and you understand it properly. And then we're going to be moving on next week to brand new grade 8 work. All right, for some of you might have been new and not seen before, and for some of you it might be stuff you might have done before, but next week we're moving on to term 2's syllabus, so make sure you're here next week. All right, so a little bit more practice on ratio, rates, and proportion. Itantile is telling me, ma'am, it's not brand new, okay? Itantile, maybe in your school you maybe might have done it last year, and that's cool, okay? But for some schools, they don't really do ratio, rates, and proportion as a topic. So, I think it was teacher Coco who started off and she spoke to you guys last week about what is a rate. So these are really nice notes, guys, that I have made. They're a little bit different to the ones you did last week, okay? So they're a little bit different to the ones that you did last week, all right? So if you took down notes last week or if you didn't get a chance or something like that, this is the time to start screenshotting or writing in your notebook, but here are some notes for you. So rate is when you're comparing two quantities, okay, of different kinds. So you're comparing two quantities of different kinds. All right, ma'am, what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? So most situations dealing with rate use the word per in the statement. So what does it mean using two quantities, okay, of different kinds? So when we're talking about rates, we're talking about things like potatoes, which cost 6 rand 99 per kg. So we're dealing with rands and we're dealing with kilograms, all right? Rands is a quantity, kilograms is a quantity, but are rands and kilograms in the same kind, or the same kind of thing? Nope. Rand is money, okay? Kilograms is weight, all right? Petrol cost 8 rand 75. Wish petrol cost 8 rand 75. Petrol cost 8 rand 75 per liter. All right. So again, rands, money, liters, measurement of liquid. And finally, my family spends 2,500 rand per month on basic food. Okay, so here we're measuring rands, money, all right, on basic food. All right, so I see in the chat, there's a question going on here. All right, so Umar is asking, ma'am, is physics maths? Okay, Umar, that's a really good question, all right? If you ask a science teacher, is physics maths? The science teacher is going to tell you exactly what Itandila said, kind of, because physics is maths, all right? Physics, you do mathematical equations. If you didn't have maths, you wouldn't be able to do physics, if that makes sense. So in physics, you're going to do maths. That's what physics is. There's a lot of maths in it, but then there's also some theoretical knowledge that you need as well. Ma'am, you wish petrol cost that much? Itandile? I really do. I wish that petrol was 8 rand 75. And guys, can I tell you, this is going to tell you how old I am. When I first started driving my car, that's how much petrol was costing. That's how much it used to cost, like 8 rand 75 per liter. That's how long ago it was. Okay. So let's have a look at some calculations, at the kind of questions that you get when you're looking at rate questions. So remember, in the test or exam, like you've seen now in grade 8, okay, it's never going to say to you in the test, these are rate questions. These are fraction questions. It doesn't say that in grade 8 anymore, hey? They don't do that. What do they do now in high school? They mix, everything's mixed up, okay? They might put it in similar sections, but they don't tell you this is the rate section, this is the fraction. They don't do that. All right, so just as a heads up, guys. All right, when we do some revision before exams, we're going to look at that. So a holiday special hires videos at 10 rand per day. You can see how old my notes are, hey? Because, again, do we hire videos anymore? Not really. But back in my day, guys, we used to go to a video shop and we used to hire videos, if you can believe it. How much will I pay if I hire 25 videos during the holidays? Oh, Amar's getting a good, Amar's guessing there. Where 2005 to 2010. No, we have Netflix. Yeah, absolutely, Amar. We don't hire videos anymore. We have Netflix. Okay. Have a look at that for me. Think about that. Calculate that for me. My pen is on charge. I'm going to go and grab my pen quickly while you guys work that out for me. All right. Oh, Mars getting some calculations there. Right. Who wants to help me out? Who wants to help me out? Who am I taking? Oh, you know what? Somebody is off mute already. Sake, is that how I say it? Oh, he put himself back on mute. Come on. Who wants to help me out? Take yourself off mute and help me out. Who's going to help me? Or raise your hand or something. Who's going to tell me how they did this? Come on. Haha. Hi, Itandile.
Hi, ma'am.
Let's go, Itandile. Nice, easy question to start. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, let's go. How did you do it?
Ma'am, I just said 25 times 10 rand.
Amazing, because we're hiring 10 videos. Oh, hold on. We're hiring 25 videos and it's 10 rand per day, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
So one video costs 10 rand, so 25 videos costs 25 times 10, and it's 250. Thanks, Itandile.
Ma'am.
All right. Shady is telling me that she can't hear me, or he can't hear me. Guys, can somebody please do me a favor? Can they type a message to Shady and tell them how they can use the audio settings? I know you guys are so good at helping each other out. Will somebody help me out there and help Shady with the sound? Thanks, guys. Okay. Example number 2. A person is paid 8,000 Rand to paint 16 units in a block of flats. So they get 8,000 Rand if they paint 16 units. Units like a flat, hey? How much will he be paid to repaint the remaining 7 units? So you guys go and do some calculations there. Okay. You guys go and do some calculations. Bree's asking a really good question. Bree's saying, let's see. Thanks, Itandile. Bree says, can per in a word problem automatically mean multiplication? So Bree, you're going to see that like for this one, there's a little bit more that we've got to think about. We can't just go do multiplication. You got to really think about what's happening in this calculation. So there will be multiplication involved here, but not always multiplication. Okay. Ma'am, I got too used to listening to how to hear you. If I can't hear, it's stuck in my mind. Very good, Umar. So you know it off by heart. Fantastic. I like that. Thank you, Lecho, for helping out as well. Try use the mic button. There's also that. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at this one. This one's a little bit trickier. So a person's getting paid 8,000 Rand if they paint 16 units. Okay. Now we want to find out how much are they going to get paid to paint the remaining 7. Okay, so they've already painted 16 and they got paid 8,000 Rand. All right, how are we going to work this out? Who wants to help me out here? Who's helping me out here, guys? Anyone else? Anyone? Everyone's so quiet today. All right, it's Andile. Let's go.
Ma'am, I said 8 divided by 16. 8,000 divided by 16.
Good.
Which
So what do
gave
you...
me
Mm-hmm.
which gave me 500.
Good. It's
Then I said,
Andile. Why? Why are you doing that? Why? Tell everyone why.
ma'am, it's because the 8,000 is for the 18 units of paint.
Good. The 16 units, hey? So you trying to work
Yes,
out how much you get paid for one, am I right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So
fantastic. So let's say,
he gets
fantastic.
paid 500. Then 500 times the remaining 7 units, which gave
Good.
me 1,500.
Nice. Well done. Well done. And guys, that's why, thank you, Itandile. that is a really useful calculation to use, especially when people are talking about like hiring you for a job, or they're talking about like paying you for like the day or something like that. Maths is the way that you can work out, well, hold on a second, you're going to pay me this much for the day. That seems like a lot of money. No, go work it out per hour first. How much are you going to pay me per hour? Or they say to you, we're going to pay you this much per week. Oh my gosh, that seems like so much money. Go work it out, divide it by how many days you're working in the week, and then how many hours. Okay, it's really, really important. All right, because it's an easy way for somebody to try and convince you you're getting paid a lot of money. But when you break it down, it's not actually that much. So always make sure that what you're learning in maths, you're going to apply to your real life. Now, a few weeks ago, somebody was asking me, ma'am, what's the difference between MathsLit and maths? These kind of questions that we're doing now, real life situation questions, just like I spoke to you about now. What happens if somebody wants to employ you and they're offering you this much money? The kind of questions where you get given a income statement, not an income statement, you get given your salary slips, or in matric you might be given a salary slip, and in MathsLit you have to calculate what the tax is, so you learn how to do taxes. MathsLit is really like applicable stuff to what you're going to do in everyday life. So a lot of people always say, oh, MathSlit's easier. No, guys, it's not easier. It's a different kind of maths. So MathsLit is a different kind of maths, okay? Maths, yes, it's seen as more challenging. It is. It always has been. It's got this reputation as more challenging. I understand that, okay? But MathsLit is just as challenging as well. It also has its challenges to it because you have to apply it to real life situations, and you actually have to do a lot of reading. Okay, you have to do a lot of reading, you have to do a lot of comprehension, and you have to do a lot of making sense of things. But the amazing thing about MathsLit, and the thing I love and that I'm passionate about, and if you ever get taught by Teacher Sam again, Teacher Sam's also really passionate about MathsLit. We're both passionate about MathsLit, okay? In MathsLit, again, you're learning real life situations, all right? So you're learning real life situations. So you're learning how to calculate your tax. You're learning how to calculate your electricity bill and your phone bill and all of those kind of things. So if anyone tells you that MathsLit, oh, you're only doing it because, you're not as smart, whatever, don't listen to them. That's not the truth, okay? All right. If you want to take MathsLit, it doesn't always close off your options as well. Lots of people say, oh, you won't be able to go to university. Yes, you can, right? If you take MathsLit, you can study to become an attorney. So you can study law, you can study nursing. There's a whole range of options still available to you if you take MathsLit. Yes, if you take maths, okay, there's a lot more doors open to you, all right? Because you can obviously take medicine or accounting and if you take MathsLit, it does close off certain doors. But if you're not interested in those fields anyway, then MathsLit is a good way for you to go. Okay. All right. Example 3. Santi takes part in a 25-kilometer race. She finished the race in 2.5 hours. At what average speed did she run? So I know we spoke about this a little bit earlier on in the year. Okay, we spoke about this a little bit earlier on and maybe in the term as well, where we're dealing with time, we're dealing with distance, and now they're looking for speed. Okay? And Mishle, I'm not sure if you're going to ask me a question or you want to help me answer this. Let's see. Mishle?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you, my love?
I'm good, ma'am. I wanted to
Good.
help you with this, ma'am.
Amazing. Amishle is going to help us out. Amishle, let's go. Talk to me. What do we need to do here?
So, ma'am, speed is distance times by time. Wait.
We need the triangle. Should I bring out the triangle there, Amishle? There we go. Is that what we're looking for?
Distance equals speed time.
Speed times time. Good.
Yes. And then
Good.
speed equals distance divided by time. And then time
Good.
equals distance divided by speed.
Amazing. So we've got that triangle, and that triangle is going to help us out until we in matric. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Amishle, can I tell you guys a story? I had a matric once, matric maths, matric, okay? She used to get 70s for maths, 70s and 80s for maths. So matric maths, she did really well in maths and matric. And this question was in the finals matric paper about speed, distance, and time. When I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, what a nice question. Do you know, Amishle, she forgot about this triangle in matric. In matric. So I never ever want to hear any of my grade 8s telling me, ma'am, I forgot this triangle. This triangle is so important to me, Shle, hey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. D, S, T, and a V. This triangle is really, really important. All right, carry on going.
So, ma'am, you're going to say 25 divided by 2.5.
Well done. So we're going to say speed equals distance divided by time, 25 divided by 2,5. And what is my answer, please?
Um,
I love it when you guys go, what did you guess?
can I quickly calculate it, ma'am?
Of course you can calculate it. Go ahead. I know that calculator's sitting like at the bottom of your school bag where you haven't seen it since last week, Wednesday.
The answer is 10, ma'am.
Well done. 10. And we're always going to tell them what we're doing, hey? So 10
Yes, ma'am.
kilometers
Kilometers per
per,
hour.
well done, hour. Well done. Thank you so much, Amishle.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, guys, never, ever, ever forget to put your units in, okay? If you forget your units, they're going to mark you down. You're going to lose silly marks, all right? Just like that matric who forgot about her DSTV triangle. All right, moving on. I'm going to leave it there a little bit in case you guys want to take photos. Okay, so let's have a look at some questions. I'm going to put let's put 4 questions up for you guys. Let's put all 4 questions. I'm putting all 4 questions up for you guys. Let's read through them, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity to go try them. The reason why I'm going to read through them is in case anyone needs them explained a little bit. I always feel like that helps sometimes. Guys, when you're doing ratio, rate, and proportion questions, grab a highlighter or grab your pen, write on it, make sure you understand what's going on. So 2.1, Sia pays 8 Rand and 91 cents for 9 chocolate bars. So he's going into the shop. He bought 9 chocolate bars. He went up to the counter at Checkers. He put his 9 candy bars on the counter. The lady rang them up and it came to 80 Rand and 91 cents. All right. Now they're asking, okay, how much will he pay for? 20. All right. So what had happened if instead of putting 9 bars on the counter, how much would it have been if he put 20 bars on the counter? Anna's father covered 956 kilometers, okay, in 8.5 hours. So highlighting this for you. So far, I've got distance, and then I've got time, all right, on a recent road trip. At what speed did he travel? So I've got distance, I've got time, and now I've got speed, hey? DST, and I see some people asking me, ma'am, where does the V come from? I'm going to draw it here for you. So I've got, whoopsie. Sorry, guys. So far I've got, let's go. DST, V. There's my V. Okay. My DSTV triangle. All right. DSTV. That's how I always remember it. It's stuck in my brain like that. DSTV, DSTV. Okay. Kaya bakes cupcakes and makes a profit of 2.40 per cake. So she's baking cakes. Okay. She makes 2.40 per cake. How many cakes will she need to sell in order to be able to afford a bicycle costing 2,700 Rand? And finally, a cyclist takes 15 hours, okay, so time, to complete a trip riding at 25, and now you might not have seen this definition before. kph means kilometers, so I'm going to write it here. It means kilometers per hour. How much less time will he have to take to do the same trip if he rides at 30 kilometers per hour? Okay, so 15 hours to complete a trip riding at 25 kilometers per hour. How much less time will he take if he does the same trip and he rides at 30 kilometers per hour? Okay, I'm going to give you guys, let's give you like another maybe 3 minutes. I'll give you like another 3 minutes to go work it out. Another 3 minutes to work it out. Lejo's already sending me the answers. Well done, Lejo. You got this. Amar, at least you here in maths. You took some time out from playing Call of Duty so that to do some maths today. Well done. All right. Umar's asking me about EGD. EGD, engineering graphic design, also amazing. If your school offers EGD, Umar, grab it with both hands. If that's what you want to do as a career and you want to use that in your career, go ahead. Not all schools offer it. Okay. Umar, we are not talking about what games we play. We are doing the questions. We are doing the questions. All right. Okay, I see there was like a really interesting conversation going on about what you guys want to do and what you want to study. All right. Somebody's saying they want to do coding. Guys, there's lots of programs that you can do with coding where, yes, some if you're going to study through universities, yes, you need maths, but there's some places you need to have a look into coding. Okay, you need to have a look into coding and see whether maths is a necessary thing. Yes, some do, absolutely. I'm not saying you don't. Yes, you absolutely need maths for some universities, but some, not really. Ma'am, which one is better, IT or EGD? Umar, it really depends on what you enjoy. So if you really enjoy IT, I also just want to remind you, some people go into IT thinking that they're going to learn how to code and they're going to learn about making apps and they're going to learn all sorts of things at school. IT at school is very different to what you think it's going to be. So just go into it with your mind open, get lots of information from your teacher and find out what you're actually going to learn in IT as well. So just be careful there when it comes to IT. Okay. I enjoyed IT when I was at school. I did it as an 8th subject. All right. But just be careful. Just see what IT is all about before you actually make a decision on that. Okay, you guys have 1 more minute. There's 1 more minute. Ma'am, if you do math lit, the job pay is low. Absolutely not. It's not. Okay, absolutely not. I know lots of people who did maths lit who are earning amazing salaries at the moment. I had a student who did maths lit. She went and studied course on how to be a skipper, and she's on yachts at the moment in the French Riviera, and she earns lots of money doing that. So yeah, she did what she loved. I had another student who did maths lit all the way to matric. She's a fashion designer. So she did fashion design. She followed her passion. So it really does depend on what your passion is as well. Not just always about the money as well. Okay. But you can make money doing whatever it is that you love as well. So don't forget that at the end of the day. All right, so Sia is paying 80 Rand and 91 cents for 9 chocolate bars. How much did he pay for 20? All right, so I know that Lejo sent me an answer just now. So I'm going to use Lejo's one first because Lejo hasn't got their hand up, but they did send me the answer on the chat. So I'm going to give you guys what Lejo told me. So Lejo said to me that they took, okay, I'm just going to make some space here. Lejo said, so 8.91 was for 9 chocolate bars. So they said 80 rand and 91 cents, and they divided it by 9. Okay, why did Lejo divide it by 9? Lejo, I'm speaking for you here. I hope you don't mind, but your hand isn't up, so I can't call on you. So Lejo divided it by 9 because they wanted to find out how much 1 chocolate bar was. And when they did that, they got 8.99 for 1 chocolate bar. Now they want to buy 20, okay? So Lejo said that Sia then said 8 rand 99 times by 20, and that gives them 179 rand 80. Okay, check my maths, please. Check my maths. Have I got it all good? Am I good? Do you agree with my answer? Is everyone happy? All right. Is this the first time we all agreeing? No one's going to disagree with me? You all good? Okay. All right. Mishle, yes, that is how much money chocolate is. Can you believe it? All right. So 179 rand and 80 cents. Okay. Thanks, Lejo. All right. 2.2. Anna's father covered 956 kilometers in 8.5 hours on a recent road trip. At what speed did he travel? So we're going to go into the speed calculation here. We're going to say speed equals distance divided by time, and that's going to give us 956 divided by 8,5, and that gives us 112,47 kilometers per, oh, run out of space, hour. Kilometers per hour. All right. Everyone good with my second answer? We agree? We're good? Everyone happy? Okay. 2.3. 2.3. I see I've got some hands now. So let's start with Itandile. You've got your hand up. Itandile, you want to help me with 2.3?
Yes, ma'am.
Help me out. 2.3.
I was a bit confused, but then I think I
Why?
got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Talk to me.
2.7
Mm-hmm.
divided by 40
Okay, so you said 2,700.
divided by 2 comma.
Good. 2,700. So that's how much the bike costs. And we're dividing it by the profit of the cupcakes. Well done. And what did you get?
1,125 rand.
So she has to sell 1,125
Rand.
cupcakes. Be careful here. It costs 240 per cake. So we went and worked out how much money she needs for her bicycle, divided by how much she makes for each cake. And we worked out that she then needs to sell 1,125 cakes. Hey, does that make sense? Okay, you sure, Tandile? Okay, awesome. All right, now, some people said they were scared of 2.4. They were scared of 2.4. I don't know why you're scared of 2.4. Come on. All right, I see I've still got a hand raised. So let's see. And Mishle, are you happy to try 2.4 with me?
Ma'am, I actually had a question, ma'am.
Okay, sure. What's your question, my love?
So, ma'am, for question 2.2, ma'am.
Yeah.
So since the answer was 112,47, is it still correct if you rounded it up to 112,50 kilometers?
So I wouldn't say that it was wrong. I would give you the marks. And the reason why I would give you the marks is because they didn't tell you what to round it up to. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so because they didn't tell you, you could round it up to whatever you wanted, all right? So comma 50 is absolutely fine. You round it up to 1 decimal place. The reason why I use 2 is because Normally in maths and normally in like physical science, we always use 2 decimal places. I'm just used to doing that. But if you round it up to 1 decimal place, that's also fine. They didn't say.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's look at 2.4. Okay, Emishne, do you want to help me with 2.4 or you want me to try by myself?
I'll try now.
You're gonna try? Okay, awesome. Emishne, talk to me. What did you do? What's your thoughts? What's your thought pathway here?
So ma'am, so since distance is
Speed
sorry, ma'am.
times time.
Yes,
It's okay.
speed times time is, so I said 25 kilometers times 15,
Good.
and my answer was 375 kilometers per hour.
So 375 kilometers, hey? Because that's the distance. Agreed with you so far, okay? Carry on going.
And then I said 375 divided by 30,
Good. So
which
now
is,
I want to work out what the time is, hey? So you said
yes,
distance divided by speed. So you said 375 divided by 30. Amazing. Equals
12.5 kilometers per hour.
12,5. And it's time, hey? So it's 12,5 hours. Happy with that? Perfect. And what did you do as your final thing? As your final on? What did you say?
I didn't get that far yet. But
Okay. I
I'm
am
still
so
busy
happy with
thinking.
what you've done so far. Okay, stay with me. Don't mute yourself yet, because I want to show you something quickly. This question asked us this. It said, how much less time will he take? So how much less time will he take? So how much time did he take before? How much time did he take initially, Anishle?
He took 15 hours, ma'am.
Good. He took 15 hours. Now, when we calculated it and he went a bit faster, how much time did he take now?
He took 12.5 hours, ma'am.
Good. He took 12,5. So can we work out how much less time he took?
Yes, ma'am.
What are we going to say? We're going to say?
15 minus 12.5.
Amazing. Well done. And that gives me 2,5 hours. Well done. So we've always got to make sure that we're just finishing off that last point. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thanks, Amishle. All right, guys, no need to be scared of maths. Sometimes it's challenging, but no need to be scared. We've spoken about that before. Okay. All right, let's carry on going. So we've done rates. We've done rates. Let's move on to some ratio. We've done rates. Let's move on to some ratio. Oh, dear. Ratio is the sorry, guys. Ratio is the comparison of two or more quantities, and now it's going to be of the same kind. So this is the difference here. Rate was the comparison of two quantities of different kinds, okay? Now we're doing ratio, and it's the same kind. So rate, different kinds, ratio, same kind. Rate, different kind, ratio, same kind. All right. The numbers are shown as a fraction. So 3/4, we say that that ratio is 3:4. So actually, guys, any fraction is actually a ratio as well. So ratios, rates, ratios, and fractions are kind of the same, right? A ratio can also be written using 2 dots. So a colon between each part, 3:7:4. We say 3:7:4. Okay, so if we had 3 parts to a ratio, we would have it in that way. All right. Ooh. Ratios are usually given in their lowest terms. So 25/30, remember when we did fractions earlier on, 25 over 30, we can either go work out what goes into 25, what goes into 30. We work out 5 goes into both, so 5 over 6. Or if you got one of those fancy schmancy calculators, you put 25 over 30 as a fraction, you press equals, or you press answer, and it gives you 5 over 6, right? But unfortunately, for ratios that have 3 parts, your fancy schmancy calculators don't do that. Okay, so that one you have to work out. You have to work out what goes into 8 and 32 and 72, and you get 1:4:7. So, if 3 over 5 is equal to a over 25, then how do we calculate what the value of a is? Guys, we've done this. We've done this. We did this when we did fractions. We did this last year when we did fractions. You did this in grade 6 when you did fractions. Now, they're just giving it a different name, okay? Now they're just calling it this. So grade 8s, you've done this, all right? Remember I said to you about maths, especially now when you're coming to high school. All these different topics that they talk about are all connected, okay? And you've got to try and form the connections between all of them because these ratios are just like fractions. So let's go work out what the value of a is. Some of you are already guessing it there for me in the chat. I see Itandile, your request for a brain break. We will have a look at one now. So 3 over 5, 25, okay, is 5 times 5. So a will be 5 times 3, which gives us 15. Exactly. Well done. For example number 2, 250 mils of water is added to 250 mils of cool drink syrup. So this is like, I don't know if you've had it before. Like I had it when I was small. We had like green juice in our house. You know, like that stuff it squeeze into your juice. Then you're supposed to have a little bit of like the juice, and then you're supposed to add water to it. But you always end up adding more juice instead of the water. It's this kind of thing that they're talking about. Or like Oros. You know, like Oros, on the Oros bottle, it says like 1:7 or 2:7. There we go, drink or pop, exactly. It's the stuff where you mix in like a certain bit of liquid and then a certain bit of water. That's what they're talking about here, okay? What is the ratio of water to syrup? Now, the next time you go make yourself one of these drinks, or the next time you're in the shops and you see it on the shelf, go have a look, guys. Go have a look on the bottle, and you'll see it actually tells you what the ratio is, okay? It tells you what the ratio is. So, if we write it as a fraction, we're going to say 250 over 50, hey? So 250 over 50, all right? And that's going to give us, all right, sorry. When we break it down, it's going to give us 5:1. So the ratio is going to be 5:1. So 5 parts of water and 1 part of syrup. So if you can picture that in a glass, like picture a glass. That's what I always do when I read this and I'm going in the shops. Here's my glass. All right. 5 parts of water and 1 part of syrup. 5 plus 1 gives me 6. So I'm going to divide my glass into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my glass. I've divided it into 6. Here's my squeegee red juice because that's the one that tastes the best. All right. And the rest, what are we going to do? Okay. The rest, we're going to have water in. So 1 part is red juice and the rest is water. Okay. The rest is water. All right. Guys, I see your request for brain break. I see it. We're going to do a brain break. I promise. Promise, promise, promise. Coming up soon. Promise. So, example number 3. If there are 90 apples in a box, they're going to divide them into 3 families in the ratio 5:3:6. How many apples does each family receive? So you got 90 apples, all right? And we need to divide them in the ratio 5:4:6. Now, this one, guys, can sometimes blow your mind because you're like, but ma'am, there's 90, there's now this, and how do we divide it? Umar, I'm so sorry. Bye, Umar. We'll see you on Thursday. Umar's leaving. Bye, guys. Bye, Umar. Okay. All right. Just like I've just done with the water with you. You know how we did with the water, okay? and you're looking at the water, and the water's had 1 part of the squeegee juice and then 5 parts of water. So how many parts were there altogether when we added this up? When we added this up, how many parts were there at the water? There were actually 6 parts, hey? How did we work that out? We said 5 plus 1 made 6, hey? So 5 plus 1 made 6. Okay. All right. Now, let's go work out how many parts we've got here. So I've got 5 plus 4 plus 6. So altogether, I've got 15 parts. So if we're looking at that, if we look at that ratio, okay, and you think about the water, always think about, what did ma'am say about the water? What did ma'am say about the water? All right. Add your parts together. 5 plus 4 plus 6 gives you 15. That's your first step. Okay. Ooh. So oh my goodness, guys, the screen today, I don't know what's going on. It's also on holiday. So we've got 90 apples. Now we've got 15 parts. This is a little bit easier now because 90, 15, can that be divided into each other? Yes, it can. So if I'm looking at that, what's going to happen with one family? Oh my word. So what's going to happen with one family is we're going to take our one family and we're going to work out, well, if we had to take these apples, oh gosh, guys, I'm just going to bring another screen in here for you. So we had 90 apples. We worked out that we had 15 parts. And the first thing we needed to calculate was what was going to be 1 part. So to get 1 part, we would say 90 divided by 15 equals 6 apples. So 1 part gives you 6 apples. All right, so let's go back to our family situation now. Oh, no. Here's our family situation, okay? In my family situation, I've got 5 is to 4 is to 6. So I had 5 is to 4 is to 6. So let's say family 1, they had 5 of the parts. So 5 times by 6 gives me 30 apples. Okay. Family number 2 had 4 parts. So 4 times 6 gave me 24 apples. And finally, family number 3. Family number 3 had 6 parts. So 6 times by 6 gives me 36 apples. And if you take your calculator and you add those up, all in total, it gives you 90 apples. All right, have a look at that for me. See if it makes sense. See if you have any questions about it. Have a look for me. Hey. Are we all good, guys, with how we do parts and how we calculate this? All happy? All right, so if we're all happy, let's have a look here. Screen's doing strange things tonight. Okay, at the questions that I want to do, if our screen lets us. So I want to have a look at these questions at the bottom of the screen. I want to have a look at question 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, and 5.6. Exactly, Bree. Bree, you are right. Okay. The key part is to find out what 1 part is and then to multiply it in. Shady, this is not your brain break. No, these are the questions. So go take a screenshot, guys. I'm going to bring your brain break up for you in the meantime. Okay. You know me, I love to have the brain break at the end because then it keeps you all here. It keeps you all here, guys. Everyone stays. It's my favorites. Okay, it keeps you all here. Not that you all wouldn't stay for my lesson. I know you all missed me so much, eh? All right. I really hope that you had good lessons with teacher Coco and teacher Sam last week. They said they really enjoyed our class. So I hope that you guys had a really good time and you learned something last week as well. Lejo, of course you can take a screenshot. Do you want me to go back, Lejo, to the previous page for you to take a screenshot, or do you want to take a screenshot of this one? You tell me which one you want.
This one, ma'am.
This
This
one.
one,
Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Okay, I promise we're going to come back to this page as always, but let's go have a look at our brain break. So, you know, my